Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're over here starting off the episode at Old Town because I want to show you something we managed to do on a live stream a little while ago. This little island over here seems kind of innocuous, and eventually we will have ourselves a little house along here roughly in the same sort of style as we've been working with elsewhere in this area. But I wanted to show you something a little special that we cooked up on the way, because while I was filling this whole area in, whilst the island was taking shape underneath here, I came across an area that I'd sort of unintentionally built into a cave mouth. And so what I decided to do is actually dry out the area underneath here and turn it into a kind of secret base. We've got a conduit set up in here, which for the grand scheme of things means that we can do a little bit of underwater work in the swamp around here. And as you can see on the live streams, we've been kind of terraforming some of the area underneath the swamp here with mossy cobblestone and a little bit of regular cobble in slabs and so forth. I'm really looking forward to mossy cobble slabs, by the way. But the seagrass and the sea pickles to give the place a little bit of ambience and light it up. And the whole area is feeling a little bit more put together. Still going to work on this as a shipwreck at some point, but the kelp farm is definitely performing pretty well. It's got up to the third chest there, and we'll be able to start smelting some of that and converting it into kelp blocks soon. But today, I decided I want to work a little bit on this, and I want to turn it into this kind of underground secret potions lab. The idea now is that the folks in the swamp here, while their houses on the surface may be kind of run down and ramshackle, and yes, I still need to fix the roof of that thing, it is looking real wonky. Down here, below the surface, they might actually have some stuff that they are sitting on that they kind of want to keep a secret. Some stuff that is buried here below the surface. And so, yeah, what I want to do is turn this whole thing into an underground potions lab, and then we are going to do a comprehensive guide to all of the potions in Minecraft, how to brew them, how some of the extra stuff like gunpowder and dragon's breath will turn it into splash and lingering potions, some of the potions that you may not necessarily want to brew, and our end goal for all of this is going to be to achieve the advancement here in the Nether tab for having every potion effect applied at the same time. We are going to make ourselves a furious cocktail today, folks, and I'm probably not going to like it. I expect a little bit of a hangover after today's episode. But enough talking for now. I am going to go away and transform this entire place into a bit of a potions lab. I'm going to get all the ingredients together that we will need to make these potions, and then I'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. So I've done a little bit of work underneath here, and while we could swim in through the cave entrance we used before, I kind of want to take this. This is a very obvious, but it will eventually be hidden trap door that's going to be inside the house that ends up on top of this little island, this artificial island that I've built. And as you can see down there, we have some cool stuff going on. So all we need to do really is stand on here, flip the trap door, and we can hold space to bounce on the slime blocks, close that trap door behind us, and we have entered our secret potions lab. There we go. We've got all of the stuff that we need down here, and this little cave underneath here has converted really nicely. I tried to keep it a little bit natural looking, but we've got an eclectic range of stuff down here. A nice little kind of interesting space for us to do some potion brewing, and some of the resources that we require for potion brewing are even available to us down here. I've got a little melon patch for us to make melons for glistering melons, which are some of the supplies we will need for this. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff over here. We've got netherwort growing. I've got my ender chest here in case I need to grab a few things. We've got a few cauldrons of water, and I like the fact that the water in the swamps kind of has this like off-green sort of color that I thought made it look kind of nice next to all of the slime, and I figured the slime is kind of like congealed, algified swamp water that's crept in from outside. Also, I've reconfigured the conduit kind of rig over here so the conduit actually kind of looks like it's inside of a giant, it feels like a space marine helmet a little bit. It kind of looks like a helmet of sorts, but the conduit power, because this amount of prismarine around it is still pretty much the same, should still be the same full effect that we get from the standard setup with the 3 rings of prismarine. So without further ado, we're going to dip our hands into the potion brewing setup, and this chest here contains pretty much all of the ingredients we will need. I've got a spare brewing stand in here as well, and we can probably do a little bit of fun stuff with this, because there are ways you can automate brewing. I'm not going to go heavily into that stuff today because making a full automatic potion brewer is probably deserving of an entire episode separate to this one. So today, I'm going to go over a lot of the potion brewing recipes, how different potions can be brewed and then modified, and then in the future, we'll probably come up with an automatic redstone-ified potion brewer that's going to do all of this stuff in an automated way. For now, we'll need to cover the basics of potion brewing, and I brought these hoppers around so that I can show you a little bit of the automation stuff a little bit later on. So you'll start off by needing a brewing stand. These are made with 1 blaze rod and 3 cobblestone in a crafting table, and once you get that, there are a few things you will need. You'll need some glass bottles, and you'll need a water source. Now, cauldrons are a popular water source. They can be filled up with a bucket of water, and then they can be used 3 times to get 3 water bottles before they drain completely and have to be refilled with a bucket of water. The thing about that is that if you're just working from one cauldron and you don't have water really close by, it can be a bit of a pain to do that. So a lot of people forego the cauldron entirely and fill up their bottles of water from the nearest flowing or full water source. And you can actually do that infinitely without draining the water away at all. As you can see, my inventory is absolutely full of water bottles now, and I can start filling these up. So, generally speaking, I tend to avoid using a cauldron. On the Bedrock Edition, cauldrons have a little bit of extra functionality, but today I'm going to mainly be covering the stuff that works in Java Edition, because I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure you can fill a cauldron with potions and then use that to craft tipped arrows. Now, in order for the brewing stands to function once they've got water bottles in here, they will not be able to brew anything unless you fill up this spot here with blaze powder. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that out of this chest as well. Blaze powder, of course, comes from blaze rods. Each blaze rod will come up with 2 blaze powder if you break it down in your crafting interface, and just 1 blaze powder will start to fill up this gauge here, and I think that does a maximum of 20 brewing operations before it consumes another blaze powder. So that should be good for 20 brewing operations. Now, a brewing operation is just 1 ingredient going into 1 to 3 water bottles down here. So you can either do them 1 at a time, or you can do them 2 at a time, or 3 at a time. It still consumes the same amount of ingredients regardless of how many bottles you use. So obviously, if you want to create a bunch of potions, you can create a batch of 3 at a time, and that's usually the most efficient way of using the ingredients. So I'm going to place some blaze powder in each of these so they are ready to go, and then we'll cover a little bit of the basics of potion making. The basic ingredient you will start pretty much every potion you make with is netherwort. Netherwort can be added to these water bottles in a brewing stand that's powered with blaze powder. Add 1 in there and you will start to see this bubble up, and it will take a few seconds to process in much the same way that smelting something in a furnace takes a little while for it to cook fully. And once this all bubbles down, you'll be left with 3 awkward potions. So here we go. We have 3 awkward potions waiting for us here in the brewing stand. And the awkward potion, despite it not having any effects right now, is the basic ingredient of basically any potion you need to make after this point. There are a couple of small exceptions to this, which I will go over now before we go any further. To start off with, we're going to take some sugar, a spider eye, and a brown mushroom. We're going to combine these ingredients in our crafting interface like so, and we get a fermented spider eye. Fermented spider eyes can produce the only potion which does not need netherwort to start it off. It does need blaze powder and water bottles, but if we place a fermented spider eye in here, we will actually end up with 3 potions of weakness. Potions of weakness are also something we've covered in a previous episode, and I'll give you a moment to remember which one. It's the episode where we cured zombie villagers. Making a splash potion of weakness and splashing a zombie villager with it, then feeding it a golden apple, is how you turn a zombie villager back into a villager. So even if you don't have netherwort, as long as you have a brewing stand, which it's actually possible to get in one location in the overworld without having to go to the nether at all, it is possible for you to cure a zombie villager and transform him back into a villager. The location you will find a brewing stand out in the overworld is an igloo, which is occasionally found in ice plains. Occasionally they will generate with the ice plains terrain, and every so often one of them will have a basement that kind of acts as a research station, and it will have a villager and a zombie villager in cells down there, and a brewing stand nearby with the ingredients you need to turn the zombie villager back into a regular villager. I would love to find an example for this, but the igloos are actually somewhat rare, and finding one with a basement is even rarer, so it will be something we will have to cover in a future episode. But for now, just know that there is actually a way of finding brewing stands outside of going to the nether. Not only that, but if you're lucky enough to find an end ship somewhere in the end, near an end city, then you will find yourself a brewing stand already in there, loaded up with 2 potions of healing, which you can take like that's something that you can have for free, but obviously that requires going past the nether in order to get to the end, so not exactly your primary source of brewing stands. Anyway, we're going to take the potions of weakness out of this brewing stand. I'm going to pop them up here in this chest. We might need those later, but for now, we're just going to pop them in there. Now, if we fill this back up with another 3 water bottles, we can actually go into what happens if you place a different ingredient in the brewing stand before you put in a nether wart, because something does happen for the various ingredients that you can have. For a start, let's put a blaze powder in this one. Let's put some gunpowder in this next one along here. And finally, let's put some glowstone in this one here, because there are different types of potion that you can get that aren't necessarily ones with effects. Much like the awkward potion, these ones don't really have any kind of purpose. They used to be part of a more complex brewing system back in the day that was simplified, and these are kind of like holdovers from those days. So here we have a mundane potion, which is what you get if you put in any ingredient that isn't a nether wart, glowstone, or gunpowder. Gunpowder turns any potion into a splash potion, and that includes basic water bottles. So what we have here is a splash potion of water, basically, and you can throw it like that. It doesn't even produce any water, it just produces kind of water particles, and that, I believe, is capable of damaging mobs which are hurt by water, like blazes and endermen. So in a pinch, if you have a splash water bottle on you, you can use that. I'm pretty sure it will also put you out if you're on fire. I have a flint and steel on me, as it happens, so let's try this out. If I throw a splash bottle of water on there we go, it puts the fire out. So presumably that will put out a player if they're on fire as well. We might as well give it a try. I'm resistant enough to fire. Here we go. I set myself on fire for a little while and splash. Oh, no, I'm not out. Okay, well, luckily there's some water nearby. So maybe that only works on the fire itself. No worries, but that is a splash bottle of water for you. The last one we have here is thick potion. And no, it doesn't make you thick. It just has no purpose whatsoever. And it isn't even possible to combine this with a nether wart now and turn it into some other kind of potion. That is just a dead bottle of water with a different name. So I'm going to take the mundane potions and thick potions and everything out of each of these brewing stands. I'm going to refill the bottles of water from our water source out here, and then we'll get to brewing the actual potions that we're looking for today. We've already got awkward potions set up in this brewing stand over here. I've added a nether wart to each of the other brewing stands so that we'll have awkward potions in each of those, and now we can get into the recipes. Let's start with the positive effects first, starting, I guess, with sugar and blaze powder as our reagents, the stuff that we're adding to this potion in order to turn it into one with effects. Let's start by popping some sugar in there. Combined with awkward potion, sugar will make a potion of swiftness. The basic potion will last for 3 minutes, and it can be upgraded using glowstone or redstone to either enhance the effect or extend the duration. So drinking one of these potions of swiftness will give you a 3-minute burst of speed that makes you 20% faster. Now I'm going to add the blaze powder to this one, and notice when I shift-clicked that, it ended up in the potion ingredient slot rather than in the blaze powder fuel slot over here. It kind of figures that what you want to do is brew up a potion using the blaze powder, and blaze powder itself is the ingredient for potions of strength, which will give you a little bit of an increase in your fighting ability. One of these will last for 3 minutes and will apply an extra 3 attack damage, and once again, this can be combined with glowstone or redstone to enhance or extend the effect. But 3 attack damage is actually a considerable amount when you consider that my sword with sharpness 5 deals 10 attack damage on its own, right? So we've got a fair amount of increase there, and with some glowstone applied to that, the strength 2 effect makes it even more damaging. Next up, let's take a look at Phantom Membrane, Pufferfish, and Magma Cream. Now, Phantom Membrane, of course, you get from attacking and killing phantoms. Pufferfish you will get from either fishing or killing pufferfish that you will find in warm oceans. And Magma Cream can be found by either killing magma cubes or alternatively combining a slime and a blaze powder, a slime ball and blaze powder in a crafting interface. That will get you another magma cream that you can use in a pinch if you're having trouble finding magma cubes in the nether. Let's add the Phantom Membrane to this brewing stand, let's add the pufferfish to that one, and finally we'll add the magma cream to this one. And that right there is going to get us a fire resistance potion. This one here is going to get us a potion of water breathing, and this one is going to get us a potion of slow falling, allowing us to fall slower and resist full damage. The slow falling potion here has a shorter duration than some of the other potions we've looked at. It's only got a 1 minute 30 duration, and it cannot be enhanced. You cannot have a potion of slow falling 2. It doesn't make you fall even slower it can only be extended using redstone so that the duration is a little bit longer. Likewise, the potion of water breathing cannot be enhanced using glowstone either, because what's it going to do? Make you breathe water for a little bit better? All it can do is increase the duration, because potions of water breathing prevent you from needing to resurface for oxygen for the duration of the potion. So whatever breath meter you have, whatever like bubbles that you see in your breath meter will be sustained there until the potion wears off. Even if you're about to drown, if you drink a potion of water breathing, you're going to be 100% fine. Likewise, over here with the fire resistance potion, you can drink that anytime, even before you get set on fire or during you being set on fire or drowning in lava, and the fire resistance potion immediately takes effect and cancels out any damage that you're currently taking. Note, once again, that fire resistance cannot be enhanced. There is no fire resistance 2 with glowstone. There is only an increased duration of fire resistance. Now, this one and the water breathing potion can be extended to 8 minutes. I believe the limit on slow falling is 4 minutes. So once again, we're going to take all of these out of the brewing stands and pop them in the chest up there, because we're going to need to drink all of them at some point. Maybe not every single bottle we're brewing up here, but one of each is going to be required to get that advancement at the end of the episode. Now let's take a look at the remaining positive potions, starting with the rabbit's foot and the ghast tear as our reagents. I've added some more awkward potions in here, brewed those up with netherwort, and we can add the rabbit's foot and ghast tear to these first two. The rabbit's foot will get you a potion of leaping, which applies the jump boost effect, which if you've been able to play around with a beacon, you might already be familiar with from the beacon list of effects. There we go, 3 jump boost potions there, potions of leaping, with 3-minute duration, which can be upped to 8-minute duration with redstone, and enhanced to a potion of leaping 2 with a 1.5-minute duration and a little bit of extra jump boost. The jump boost 1 potion will get you over a block and a half. The jump boost 2 effect, whether it's from a potion or from the beacon, will allow you to jump over 2 blocks. So it is actually possible to jump super high. You can jump over fences and stuff like that if you have the jump boost effect enabled. I personally find it kind of disorienting, so I don't use this one all that much, not to mention that rabbit's feet are actually really tricky to find. I was hunting rabbits in the desert just to get the 5 rabbit's feet I have on me for about half an hour, and I managed to acquire probably about a stack and a half of uncooked rabbit and rabbit hide, the other 2 things that they drop. I only got 5 rabbit's feet out of that, and that was with a looting 3 sword and switching from my bow to my looting sword so that I could get drops if I had to shoot them from a distance. So yeah, rabbit's feet, a little bit difficult to find, but like I said, you can get that effect from a beacon if you don't want to go around hunting rabbits the entire time. Ghast tears, on the other hand, you have to hunt down from ghasts, and they will get you a potion of regeneration, which applies a healing effect basically the entire time the potion lasts. So as you can see, the duration of this one is a little bit lower, and if you increase it to regeneration 2, I think it only lasts for about 22 seconds, but the healing effect is enhanced, and you'll be able to heal up even faster than you would, which can save your bacon in cases like the Wither or the Ender Dragon fight when you are really hurting for health. Obviously, this requires you to kill a bunch of ghasts, but as we've seen with a bow and arrow and switching to a looting sword, you can acquire a fair amount of ghast tears. This isn't even half the ghast tears I currently have, but I've been spending a fair amount of time in the nether, so your mileage may vary. Now, for the remaining 3 positive effects, we actually have to look into items that the player needs to craft, because these next few are not found really in the wild. I think it might be possible to get 1 or 2 of them as treasure rewards in loot chests, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, let's dig into the chest here. Let's grab a melon slice, some gold nuggets and a carrot, and this spare turtle shell. I have to be careful not to cook my main turtle shell that I enchanted on the most recent live stream, because wow, we got some great enchantments on that one. The first 3 came straight out of the enchantment table. It was very cool, and I applied Mending and Aqua Affinity afterwards. But in the meantime, I managed to get myself a completely unenchanted turtle shell, thanks to my little colony of turtles, and that one is something you have to craft out of 5 scoots. Go back and check out the episode about turtle hatching if you want to know a bit more about that. But these other 2 here are actually quite special. If you put a melon slice in a crafting table and surround it with gold nuggets, you get yourself a glistering melon slice. Do the same thing with a carrot, and you'll get yourself a gold carrot. And these 2 form the basis of 2 other potions. We're going to put one of them in each of here. We'll put the glistering melon in there, we'll put the golden carrot in there, and we will put our unenchanted turtle shell in the final brewing stand over here. Make sure that these all have awkward potions. Yes, they do. By the way, if you take an ingredient out of the brewing stand at any point, you can still take it away. It hasn't consumed the item in there yet. and it completely cancels the brewing process, allowing you to pop it back in anytime you like. So you don't need to worry too much about that. If you panic and realize that you haven't put any nether wart in these yet, there's still time for you to yank it out of the brewing stand with no ill effects. And thanks to the carrots, what we have here is a potion of night vision, which once again can be extended using redstone but cannot be enhanced. It is not possible to see even better in the dark. It's basically a one and done kind of thing. The potion of the Turtle Master is one we covered in the previous episode. It naturally gives you slowness 4 but resistance 3, and if you enhance it with the glowstone, it will give you slowness 6 and resistance 4. That will slow down your speed by 90%, making you possibly the slowest thing in Minecraft, so you might need to keep an eye on that a little bit if you plan on using it at all. Last of all, the Glistering Melon is pretty much the most basic potion. It gives you a potion of healing. Instant health. Basically, if you drink that while your hearts are low, it will just instantly heal up that amount of hearts. It's not like a regeneration effect where it applies it over time. Instant health means what it says on the tin. So at this point, we can go in a couple of different directions. We can either look at enhancing these potions, or we can look at the negative potion effects. I'm going to look at enhancing stuff first, because otherwise I would be left with a bunch of negative effects and be able to demonstrate the enhancement of those negative effects, and then I'd probably drink a potion that might end up killing me. So how about we don't do that? Instead, I'm going to pull out some gunpowder, some glowstone dust, some redstone dust, and some dragon's breath, which, if you'll remember, we get from taking a bunch of empty bottles to the dragon fight, and then right-clicking with the bottles in our hand anytime there is one of those pools of purple particles on the ground that the dragon has been breathing out when it attacks you. I'm going to add some gunpowder to the potion of leaping. I'm going to add some glowstone dust to the regeneration potion. I can't add the redstone dust to a potion of healing because the health effect is instant, so we're going to skip over that one and apply the redstone dust to the night vision. So over here with the one we added the gunpowder to, we now have a splash potion of leaping. Remember when we added the gunpowder to that potion and it changed it into a splash water bottle? The gunpowder will change basically any potion into a splash potion. This means that instead of picking it up and drinking it in much the same way that you would drink like this from a water bottle, right-clicking with it in your hand, if it's a splash potion, will throw it, like the splash potion of water that we saw earlier, and the effect will appear in a radius around that splash. Now, occasionally, if you're throwing a splash potion, it might be that you get caught on the outside of that radius, and sometimes that doesn't apply the full length of the effect to you, so it's often worth making sure that if you're using a splash potion, you look straight down at your feet to throw it, or look straight up into the air so that you can throw it above you and it lands directly on top of you. Now, I'm going to add some gunpowder to the Turtle Master potion, and then we're going to add some Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath will create a lingering potion, which creates that cloud of potion effect that I think I've shown off in a previous episode, but it will only do that if you start with a splash potion first. So we're using the gunpowder to turn these Turtle Master potions into splash Turtle Master potions, add in the Dragon's Breath, and they will become lingering potions of the Turtle Master, which is possibly the longest potion name in the game. There we go, and that has now reduced this to a 5-second duration. But basically, anytime you walk within the cloud produced by lingering potions, the effect will renew itself, almost like you've walked into the area of effect of a beacon. The cloud will not last particularly long, but as you can see when we throw it over here, like so, we walk through it, Oh, now we slow, folks. Now we are slow. And you can see those effects linger for a little bit longer than 5 seconds, and then we're out of it again. So, yeah, that's how lingering potions work. That cloud there is going to affect anything that walks through it for the entire duration the cloud remains there. Side note, any lingering potion with 8 arrows around it can tip those arrows with the potion effect, in this case producing arrows of the Turtle Master, but you can similarly have arrows of regeneration, arrows of swiftness, arrows of healing, arrows of poison, everything like that. In fact, arrows of slowness are the ones we've already encountered being shot at us by strays in snowy biomes. So once again, we're going to stick these potions in the chest here, with the exception of these instant health potions, because of course the instant health thing is instant. The effect isn't required for the advancement that means we have to have a ton of potion effects at once, because it's not really part of that whole group. It doesn't apply itself over time. But now we've got a couple of splash jump boost potions in there. We've got our regeneration potions, and that chest is pretty much full up. So we're going to need to find some more inventory. Maybe I'll grab another shulker box out of here. There we go. We will use this as a little bit of extra inventory. So now it's time to take a look at the negative status effects that can be brewed up using potions, we've already seen the potions of weakness in here that actually remove more attack damage than the potions of strength provide. So with a potion of weakness and a potion of strength, the weakness will actually reduce your attack damage more than the strength will buff it. Now, let's take a look at what you get if you just apply one spider eye to a brewing stand with an awkward potion in it. That, right there, is going to get you a potion of poison. Now, poison potions obviously have a relatively short duration, but they are just like getting poison from a cave spider. The effect basically damages you over time and will leave you with only half a heart left, but will not kill you. Poison is not even capable of killing you on hard mode. There is an effect like poison that is capable of actually killing you, and that is Wither. But Wither is not available as a potion. It's only something that you get from being attacked by Wither skeletons or the Wither boss itself. Although in 1.14 there might be a way to do that, but don't worry about that right now. Now, in order to get hold of some of the other negative effects, we actually have to craft up a few fermented spider eyes again, because the effect a fermented spider eye has on an existing potion is often to reverse the effect of it, which can lead to some interesting results. I'm going to brew up another night vision potion using these awkward potions here and a golden carrot. We're also going to brew up another swiftness potion in here, and I think we will grab one of the spare healing potions wherever those went. I'm going to put just one of these in here. Remember, you can brew these up one at a time, and I don't really want more than one of them right now. And we're going to put a fermented spider eye in with that one there. Now we've got these night vision potions. We're going to put fermented spider eye in that one as well, and the speed potions add a fermented spider eye to that one too. Now what we get from the potion of healing when we flipped it on its head with the fermented spider eye is a potion of harming, which instead of doing instant health, deals instant damage. If I drink this right now, bam, 2 hearts of damage, and I get hit. I get a little bit of a damage bump like I've just been shot by a skeleton or something like that. So that is not exactly a desirable effect, and you'll find that witches throw splash potions of harming on you when they want to attack you. Since they don't have any kind of physical attack, they are usually the ones to hurl potions at you. By flipping the potion of swiftness on its head, we get a potion of slowness, which actually doesn't debuff your speed as much as the speed potion buffs it, so it will actually end up, if you drink both of them, you'll still get a 5% increase in speed, and the slowness potion doesn't last as long, but still an interesting effect there. And the most interesting of all, I think, is the night vision potion being flipped on its head by the spider eye gets you a potion of invisibility, which isn't necessarily a negative effect. Invisibility can have its advantages, but it's still something that can be switched around by the effects of adding a fermented spider eye. Once again, potions of slowness can be enhanced using glowstone to get you a potion that makes you even slower, or the length can be extended using redstone. The same goes for invisibility, although there isn't anything that can make you even more invisible using glowstone, so in that case, the duration is the only thing that can be extended. It's also worth noting that if you want to apply the effect of an ingredient to a bunch of potions at once, you can mix and match them in the brewing stand. So in this case, we're going to add in a splash potion of leaping, the potion of invisibility, and the potion of strength here, and using some redstone dust, not some glowstone, we're going to increase the duration of each of them. Going to pop some redstone dust in here, and now each of these will have its duration increased to the maximum possible for that type of potion. There we go, those are all brewed up. Now we have an 8-minute potion of strength, an 8-minute potion of invisibility, and an 8-minute splash potion of leaping. Note now that if I tried to put glowstone dust in here as well, it doesn't enhance it. You can't have both at the same time. You cannot have an enhancement and an extension of the duration. It's got to be one or the other. We are almost done with our little demonstration here, and it's almost time to drink all of these potions and see quite how bizarre the resulting effect is. But next, I want to show you a little bit, like I said, about the automation of brewing stands. And in fact, I might need one more hopper for this demonstration. So when you have a brewing stand on top of a hopper, note that that's obviously going to get the output from the brewing stand, but the problem with that is as soon as you put any water bottles in there, let's grab these 3 awkward potions here as an example. As soon as you put the water bottles in the brewing stand, they are going to be dragged out into the hopper because the hopper is always searching for an inventory above it and trying to pull the contents out. So what you want to do in this case, let's grab the redstone box out of here and grab ourselves a redstone power source. How about this lever? That will do. We'll just put that on the block next to that. That should power the hopper and that should lock the hopper in place. So now I should be able to put my awkward potions in there, and because the hopper is being powered by redstone, it's not able to take any items into its inventory, meaning that the brewing stand can actually keep those potions in there. Now, obviously, to put ingredients into a brewing stand, you need a hopper facing down into the top. To add water bottles and blaze powder, you can actually have a hopper facing in from the side. Now, there is something to note here, and that's that obviously with water bottles, you're going to fill up a hopper quite quickly, meaning that if you fill the entire thing up with water bottles, let's use glass bottles here as an example, and you have a chest up here that has the blaze powder in it as well, you're not going to be able to get any blaze powder to this through that hopper because the glass bottles are already filling this up, and bottles of water cannot stack the way glass bottles can. So if we had 5 bottles of water in this hopper, like so, say the first 5 items in a chest were bottles of water, right now no blaze powder can get to this brewing stand. So it might be worth your time, if you want to automate this process, to add a second hopper to the side like so, and fill that with your blaze powder, because if you do that, the blaze powder will be able to get into this slot here, and you won't have any trouble with that gumming up the works. Obviously, that's going to complicate your auto brewing setup somewhat, but it does mean that you don't get backlogged with water bottles in here. Alternatively, though, a blaze powder is going to last for 20 brewing operations. You can probably just put a stack of blaze powder in the brewing stand and forget about it entirely. Now, of course, we just pop something in the top hopper, and I've already got a phantom membrane in there that's going to brew up into a potion of slow falling, and once that has brewed up successfully, all we need to do is pull this lever down here on the right hand side, and all of those will drain out into the chest, and that way you can actually set this up so that it's automated using redstone signals. There we go, potions of slow falling, just pull the lever, and oh, it's actually pulled through all of the water bottles from this chest because it was filling up the first slot there at a time. So you might need to set up a system that locks this hopper when this one unlocks. That's probably going to be a better idea. But now you can probably see why I'm not making an automatic potion brewer in this episode. We're definitely going to have to do a little bit of work on that and save that for a future episode. But for now, I need to assemble all the potions it's necessary for me to drink to get ourselves this furious cocktail advancement. Okay, folks, here are the 12 potions I need to take. There are 13 potion effects that we need to have on us in order to get this advancement. Invisibility, night vision, strength, jump boost, fire resistance, water breathing, slow falling, speed, poison, weakness, regeneration, slowness, and resistance. Those are basically all of the potion effects that we need for the advancement. Now, obviously, with these being a variety of lengths, this is all going to be a little bit difficult, and it would be a better thing to basically turn all of these into splash potions, therefore I can just splash them all on myself really quickly instead of having to drink them one by one. However, I am confident that we can do this. There's only this one at the end, the Turtle Master Potion, which is going to be the final thing that we add, and that's the only one that has a duration that is like 5 seconds. So we have a little bit of time to act with the rest of these. If I wanted to, we could extend the duration a little bit. We could go with a Regeneration 1 potion that has a little bit of a longer duration. Don't worry, folks. I think we can handle it. So let's start moving these into the hotbar using my number hotkeys and try and arrange them in roughly the order that they are going to work best. So we start off with the 8-minute duration ones. We'll move down to the 3-minute duration ones, the 1-minute 30s, the 45, the 22, and then the 5 splashed on us at the end, and that should be the advancement claimed. Are you ready for this? This is going to be quite a trip. Let's see what we can do here. First of all, invisibility, then night vision. Oh boy, this is going to really look strange after a while. Look at the potions HUD going. There we go. Potion of leaping splashed on us. Fire resistance, there we go. Water breathing, these are the 3-minute ones, so these aren't going to last quite as long as the others. Add a potion of weakness, a potion of slow falling as well. Oh boy, this is looking a little bit strange, and oh, you can't even see me in the inventory now. The last 3 are here. We need to drink the potion of poison. We're going to start taking damage. The potion of regeneration will heal us, and then Turtle Master. There we go. We got ourselves a furious cocktail, and oh boy, that was a lot of potion effects, and then the Turtle Master has worn off. If we run out into the water right now, we could have conduit power added to that as well. That is absolutely crazy. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide and this little look at potion brewing and a little bit of automation. If you want to know more about potion brewing, the Minecraft Wiki has an excellent article on brewing. Oh boy, I wish that poison would stop. I need to eat some chicken. The Minecraft Wiki has an excellent article about brewing, which has an excellent cheat sheet that I have to follow a lot of the time because I sometimes get completely lost in which potions provide which effects. But look at this. If I take all of this stuff off, you can't see me. I'm completely invisible. But folks, remember, you can always cure any potion effect, no matter what it is, with a bucket of milk. And I really wish I'd brought a bucket of milk over here to demonstrate that to you. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you folks enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like on the episode if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.